Yo, what is up, Cowboys Nation? Happy Tuesday. Tax Day Tuesday, man, out there. Um, so let everyone pile up in, man. Hopefully everyone's having a good one. And we're gonna keep it live and lit and have some fun today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some fun today, man. Going improv as usual. They're doing what we do in this community. So hopefully everyone's having a good one, good blessed one. And yeah. Let me see. Make sure the iPad's goody here. Talk about some draft stuff coming up, man. Just keep it flowing, keep the content going. So yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good one out there today. And we are live and we are lit. Let's see here. All right, boom. So to everybody in the chat, y'all know the vibes, right? See here, Google Sheets. My dog Sin City in the building, Lou in the building. What's up with you, big dog Lou? You know what I'm saying? Because know what I'll say about this, man, with these improv lives, right? You know, I kind of like doing them because it kind of lets me get what I need to say out and just be done for the day. But also, it really lets me know who's locked in, right? Because if I can just press a button sometimes at 3, sometimes at 2, sometimes at 11, sometimes at 10, and I see people still in the chat, people still watching. I know you guys are locked in, man. You guys are Noti gang. You're a CFO gang for real. So I deeply appreciate you all. Like I said, hopefully everyone's having a great Tuesday, Tax Tuesday. Hopefully everyone filed the taxes. You know what I'm saying? Hope you ain't out there going Wesley Snipes on them. You know, I hate filing taxes. When I was young, like filing your taxes used to be a big thing. So I'll get this massive, tax return and I would be able to celebrate and blow money, get my tax return. I would file my taxes like in January, like as soon as January 1st, as soon as the ball drop, I'm filing my taxes because I need my check. When you get older, bro, and you start making money, shit, I wait to the last minute as I did today. I waited to the very last minute to file my taxes at the buzzer because I already know they are going to be wanting some money, man. And I got my ass kicked this year. It's a gift and a curse, right? Because one, as a content creator, I made a load of money this year, you know what I'm saying, compared to last year. So that's all taxable income, you know what I'm saying? So it's good to see that we're progressing with the channel and with the work that we're doing. But tax-wise, income is income, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, right? But just filed my taxes, feeling good, man. But also feeling good about another situation that happened this morning. And my brother, Skywalker Steel, he is back doing content. Sky's been doing some other stuff, some man stuff, focusing on family and stuff. So, he's not with A to Z anymore. So he has his own channel. So you guys definitely need to subscribe with Sky. And like I was saying, oh, you didn't know, Lou? Oh, Lou, you didn't know? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Lou. Oh, you thought this was free money on the side? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This YouTube money, all those sponsorship dollars and everything else. Oh, yeah. Uncle Sam wants a piece of that. So set it on the side, bro. Yeah, 1000%. Yeah, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No. Um, you should get like a W9 form from YouTube or something like that. So yeah, all those super chats, all that shit, that's taxable. But I was saying, my dog Sky is back, man. And I was telling, because I called into the show this morning, salute to Sky. It felt like I've been kind of like, not just me, right? But a lot of us righteousness. Yeah, 1099 form. Yeah, gotta get a 1099 form, put that on the taxes, Lou. You know what I'm saying? You can't be turning Lou into Wesley Snipes, dog. You know what I'm saying? We can't have you Wesley sniping out here. So I was telling people, like, I feel like when it comes to this civil war in the community, you kind of have the truthers, right? The people who want to just focus on football and do the right things and journalistic integrity, and you have some other people who are just about content, and they really don't give a shit, right? So it's been this huge battle that's been going on inside of our community, man. And I felt like Captain America when they were fighting Thanos, and then all of a sudden I saw the big to your left, right? And then I saw Skywalker walk through the portal, and it's like, thank God we got some reinforcements, man. Sky is a guy who has always done this the right way. I know a lot of you guys might look up to me in the content space as you're coming up as content creators. Sky was the one that I looked up to, where it's like, okay, that was the standard. That's how I want to do things, whether it's production wise, whether it was just content wise, being fair and balanced. You can be a Cowboys fan, but you don't have to be a homer. You ain't got to be all crazy, crazy, crazy. Um, when it comes to your content, as far as drinking Kool-Aid, you can just call it fair, man. So Sky is a guy that always has brought integrity to the game, creativity, fun, all of it, right? All of it when it comes to Skywalker Steel. And like I said, the reason why I am the way that I am is because of Skywalker. It's because of the Patrick No C Walkers and some of those guys who kind of led before me. Because I knew the Koyes, right? I knew if I was going to have conversations with those guys, I better be on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Sky's not going for no bull. Koye's not going for no bull. Patrick No C is not going for no bull. So in order for me to be able to sit at the dinner table with those guys, I had to really lock in and know my shit, right? So that was kind of standard that was set for me is with those core guys. So that's why I kind of carry myself the way I do. Some people might view it as arrogance or whatnot. It's just talking ball. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't like pushbacks. People like to talk without pushback. But Sky was definitely one of those ones who kind of set the standard of how this thing will look. I told you guys the story all the time. The very first show I ever appeared on was Skywalker's show out the blue. I was just a guy on Twitter, and Sky said, "Yo, come on my show." I never knew this content space ever existed. I went on his show, went on his channel, and everybody in the comments was like, "Yo, where's this channel? Where's this channel? Where's this channel? Where can we find him? Where can we find him?" I was like, I ain't got none of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So Sky was the one who really encouraged me to start the channel, and here I am today, man. So salute to Sky. Definitely follow him on Skywalker Uncensored, because incredible morning show, man. So salute to Sky. So I felt like recharged. All right, man. We getting some realness back in this community, man. There's been kind of a lot of fake stuff kind of going on. You guys know, don't need to dive into the details, but it felt good this morning to jump on the live stream with my brother DMV and just talk football, then piggyback and go to Sky. So it's like, all right, it's a bumpy road, but eventually we are going to get back to doing what we do best in this community, which is just talk football and our love for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, if you caught the live show yesterday, right, I was saying that me personally, I would draft the Murray and Hampton at 12, lose zero sleep, lose zero, zilch, nada. You know what I'm saying? I would be perfectly fine with drafting the Murray and Hampton at 12, all right? But what I was saying, now's the time to put our Dallas Cowboys hat on, our Stephen Jones hat on, our Jerry Jones hat on, not our Club 11. I mean, salute to Club 11 in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Hat on and think how they would think. All right. And like I said, I feel like the Cowboys will probably feel like they already have a Murray and Hampton S type player in house. And so anybody that they bring in will probably be something that is a little bit different from that mold. And I mean by Javonte Williams. So I felt like if there's a player that probably makes the most sense that I would circle at 12 for the Dallas Cowboys would be the Brandon Cooks replacement, and that's Matthew Golden. Now, I am not saying Mel Kiper watches my channel. I doubt Mel Kiper even knows who the hell I am, right? So, of course, I say stuff like that on Twitter just for fun, right? But Mel Kiper has went out today, or probably did it last night, right? And changed his stance on the Dallas Cowboys drafting Murray Hampton to now it being Matthew Golden. There was an article written this morning on ESPN, but of course I ain't paying for none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but Mel Kiper has changed his stance because he's been Hampton, but all of a sudden he's changed to Golden, right? And what I'm trying to tell people is Do I feel like Mel Kiper watches me? Absolutely not. He has no idea probably who I am. Now, there are some analysts out there, and I won't say their names, that does get some of their content from me. But at least some of the guys that now, of course, like some probably do, but they don't tell me. But there are a few quality guys that will DM me and be like, yo, Tuck, I like that idea. I'm going to use it. Like, all right, cool, whatever. And of course, they're not going to go on TV and be like, I heard from Jay Tuck, man. They're not going to give me that too much. You know what I'm saying? But at least they'll DM me and be like, yo, I heard you talking about this. What's your thoughts on that, right? So cool, whatever, right? So I'm not saying that Mel Kiper has done that when it comes to me. But what I am saying is what I am able to prove and so many others are able to prove is, listen, if you roll up your sleeves and really get to work, you can do the same caliber of work that they do. You see what I'm saying? Because if you believe, and I see Joe saying, who the hell is Mel Kiper anyway? Right. But in some people's world, Mel Kiper's word is the gospel. I had guys the other day, Mel Kiper hasn't did this. He's an expert. He's an expert. He's an expert, right? But it shows that Mel Kiper can say these things, and little old Jay Tuck, right, is talking similar verbiage with the same ideas when it comes to Dallas Cowboys, and this is ahead of Mel. Maybe I'm not too crazy, and maybe I kind of know what I'm talking about. Now, am I a draft guy? No, right? I could be, but I'm not, right? I am a Dallas Cowboys draft guy. You know what I'm saying? If you are a Patriots fan, he's like, yo, Tuck, who should we draft? Bro, I don't know. Tell me what you need, and I can help you. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what you need, and I can get you groceries, but I don't know what y'all needs are. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, your philosophy. I don't know none of that shit. But I know when it comes to my team. See what I'm saying? So that's where I may defer. I'm like a Cowboys draft specialist. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So Kiper was yelling Hampton and was wrong as well, you know, and I'll say this, right? Typically things change, right? There's it's hard to do, right? So a lot of people are kind of in this guess the pick game, right? And I guess I don't know, for someone who has guessed the picks for a lot of years, it doesn't do you any benefit, right? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, bro. Who's fucking weirdos? God damn. Um, you know, it doesn't do you any good to guess the picks, right? It's more about just analysts. It's just like, you know, it's just analyzing the players, right? So you know, Mel Kiper has guessed, I would say, Tyler Guyton last year, also Tyler Smith. So he's been right sometimes, he's been wrong sometimes. You know, I really don't take it with a grain of salt. But when you guys get closer to it, there's so many moving pieces that it makes it almost easier. So like when I'm at the draft, right? And you guys saw it the last one I was at the Mozzie one, right? When you're in the workroom or the radio row room at the draft, bro, you know who the Cowboys are drafting almost 3 picks in advance, like almost 3 to 4 picks in advance, right? So like the Mozzie pick, I had to leave. Like I remember I walked down the live stream, I walked out because I didn't want people spoiling the pick because you kind of lose it. Like the Tyler Smith pick, I knew about that like 4 picks before Tyler Smith was even called. So if you're ever on Twitter and you feel like, damn, man, how are these people just getting these picks out before they're called? It kind of ruins the experience. Is because when you're in the workroom, it's everybody's media team, everybody's talking, and it's just like boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? The Jalen Carter trade up, knew about that almost 2 to 3 picks before it happened. Like, you know, it's just like, so, you know, it's fun. So we pick at 12. So I would say probably pick 8, pick 9 is where you're going to see me just like, okay, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to be ruined. Because I like that surprise factor of who we're going to take. So there'll start to be a lot of moving pieces as we get closer to the draft, where it's easier for Mel to kind of say, all right, it's Matthew Golden. And me personally, like I said yesterday, I feel at 12 it's Matthew Golden, because I still think Tet's going to go top 10 or before 12. I just feel it, right? I just feel it. And then I feel like the next wide receiver off the board would be Matthew Golden, especially after running the 14. Now, it could be flip. It could be a CeeDee Lamb type situation where they just choose the speed guy and Golden and he goes first. But I would be shocked. I would be shocked if that happens, man. Are you at the draft this year? Yes, I will be there. So I get to Green Bay, Wisconsin on Wednesday. So I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I'm coming back early Saturday morning because my kiddo has prom. So that's the plan. So I will be at the draft on Thursday and Friday. So I'll be in the building. Um, yeah, what's up, my dog Henny? What's going on with your dog? Golden ticket, yeah. And honestly, like I'm not mad at the Cowboys go with Golden. I think he's a phenomenal player. And we were talking about this earlier on Sky Show. Like, I get what he was saying that whoever we take at 12 is going to be an upgrade, right? So whether you're Team Mac, Team Golden, Team Emeka, Team Burton, whoever, it's an upgrade, but it's also a shitty situation to be in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a shitty situation to be in where it's like no matter who you draft, it's an upgrade of what we currently have. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I get what he was saying, but I'm like, that's a bad situation to be in. So I really like Matthew Golden. And I was talking about this earlier this morning with DMV. You guys let me know. I think the hardest part when it comes to this draft is there's not a lot of players you just love, 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 love. You know what I'm saying? Like you love them, but it's like it's not that, right? Outside of Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, I do like Cam Ward. I like Cam Ward a lot, right? But I sucks gonna go to Tennessee. He'll probably fall off in Tennessee, right? Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Ashton Genty, But even though I like Genty, I don't love, love, love Genty. I don't love him, love him, love him, love him, love him. I don't buy into the Genty hysteria that a lot of fans do. I think he's going to be great, right? But I don't feel like it's going to be something that the world has never seen before. I feel like he's just going to be a really good running back, right? And I feel like there's a lot of really good running backs. Like I could probably make the argument that Genty out of his class might not even be the leading rusher. It might really come down to usage, right? So it could be a situation where, like last year, right, where Bucky Irving was in the fourth round and he had one of the most productive years out of the rookie class. Like, so if Hampton went to a situation where they don't have a running back and they don't have a wide receiver and he's getting 25, 30 touches a game, then he can probably outproduce Genty, right? So, it's kind of one of those situations. Yeah, it could be Caleb Johnson. It could be Amari Hampton. It could be Juckets. It could be Henderson. It could be, RJ Harvey. Like, it's just, so I feel like that's why I'm not really falling in love where it's like, all right, but I also think that a lot of it is due to us going. I mean, also Dylan Sampson. Like a lot of people talking about Dylan Sampson, or even my guy Devin Neal. Like, don't think for 1 second I've given up on Devin Neal. So I feel like that's one of the things when it comes to this draft class is like, here's what I found. Siri, bro, no one's talking to you, fam. It's not love. There's not players to really love out. Now there are some other guys who I do love, right? I do love Devin Neal. I do love Luther. Well, I don't say I love Luther. I like Luther Burton. Um, I'll say I love Amari Hampton. I really do. I really love his film. Um, I love RJ Harvey at the running back position. Wide receiver wise or cornerback wise, I was talking about uh, Darian Porter out of ISU. Yeah, Siri making it all about her, bro. Ain't nobody even mention her. Darius Porter out of Iowa State. Love him as a prospect. So it's like, but it's not day one guys. I see he's mentioned Damian Martinez. Um, like Trey Amos. I wouldn't say love the linebacker core, bro. I was just like, even though I do like Jahad Campbell's film, I think we talked about that this morning with Lou. I don't love him, right? It's not like last year when I built out my all pet cat team, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna do it this year, but it's like I loved Edgerrin Cooper. Like I freaking loved Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper, I loved him. I loved everything about him as a player. You know what I'm saying? So I got that feel. You guys who follow my draft content, you guys knew I loved Ivan Pace. Where I'm gonna bang the desk for Ivan Pace. You know, I loved him, loved him, loved him, loved him. Josh Downs, right? Love Josh Downs, where I couldn't stop watching him. Like I can't come off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I would just watch Josh Downs like insanely. So to measure this draft class up, there is no prospect in this class that my wife knows. And what do you mean by that, Tuck? Right? She knew Josh Downs. Like my wife knew Josh Downs because I was constantly studying this kid from the moment I woke up to even when I went to bed. I was watching Josh Downs films to the point she was like, "You're watching him again? Why are you watching him? You've already watched him yesterday. You've already." I was watching like Josh Downs film before I went to bed. I was watching his training. You know, I was watching his brother Caleb Downs, who's phenomenal, probably out next year's class. Like, so I was just like, you know, enamored when it came to Josh Downs. It was almost like stock, but I saw it instantly when it comes to Josh Downs. There really isn't a lot of players that it's like I can't take my eyes off of. You know, it's really not. You know, even I talked about Cooper Beebe. You know, Cooper Beebe, man. Like I loved Cooper Beebe. Like I loved Cooper Beebe last year. You know, huge fan. I wanted Cooper Beebe the draft before, so I loved Cooper Beebe. Let me see who was my pet cat team. I really feel like last year when it came to my pet cat team, all of them probably hit, besides like two or three. Let's see if I can still find my list. I know I have them some. I know it's on the YouTube page, right? But you know, Penix was one. I feel like from last year's class, right? So, you know, I just feel like when it comes to this year's class, there's just not a lot of guys who I own. Braden Fisk, right? Jarrett Verse last year. You know, you had Malik Neighbors last year, Marvin Harrison. Like last year's class was just completely different. It wasn't at the running back room, but just overall, I feel like the quality that you could get was much better. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I feel like this is a good depth class, but there's not a lot of people who I am jumping out my seat for. Let me see, where's my pet cat list? I know I had it on my Instagram. All right, so my offensive pet cat list, I had Michael Penix, right, at quarterback. I had Jalen Wright, running back out of Tennessee. Blake Watson, who was an undrafted, he didn't hit in Denver, but he's on the roster of Denver. So he's an X. Isaiah Davis went to the Jets. Keon Coleman, up and down season of the Bills. Javon Baker, up and down at Patriots. Jalen Polk, right? Also Jacob County, who I think went to San Francisco. I had Brock Bowers. That shit hit. Ben Sinnott, he hasn't really translated yet for the Commanders, which is surprising. Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State last year. Then I had Jordan Morgan, who went to Green Bay. Cooper Beebe, we did it, y'all. Cooper Beebe, Graham Barton, Tulise Fuaga. That was my offensive side of the ball. And then defensive line, I had Byron Murphy, Chris Jenkins, Braden Fisk, interior. Edge, Jarrett Verse, Leatu Latu, who went to the Colts, Chop Robinson and Darius Robinson, Edgerrin Cooper, Peyton Wilson, Junior Colston, Quinyon Mitchell, who was the top of my list, Nate Wiggins, who went to Baltimore, Ronaldo Green out of Florida State, who went to San Francisco, Tyler Newman for the Giants. He's turned up, but it was just the Giants. Dadrian Taylor Demerson, Texas Tech, and Cameron Kitchen. So, you know, overall, like those were kind of my guys, right? Of course, I didn't pick the big names per se, but those are kind of my pet cat lists from last year. So just for fun, I might do one, but it's going to be a lot tougher. It's going to be a lot tougher because, you know, of course, I really loved Cooper Beebe. You know, I really loved Jarrett Verse and Braden Fisk. Like those were easy, but I freaking loved Quinyon Mitchell. Y'all know after we lost to the Green Bay, the very first prospect I mentioned on Twitter was Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo. Like, I was just like, yo, this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like I was literally like, it was like the day after we lost to Green Bay, I was on Quinyon Mitchell. So yeah, I'm probably build a pet cat list, but it's going to be a lot more challenging. Like from the quarterback perspective, you know, I personally, I've said this before, even though he got much to do with us, I really like Shedeur Sanders, y'all. I've watched Shedeur Sanders a lot. Now I didn't scout him in depth because I didn't need to scout him because I watched pretty much a lot of games, especially in the Big 12. But even going back from Jackson State, like he is just a varied. He plays like a vet. Like he plays like he's like a 27-year-old quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He has that mind. So I just think that the problem with Shedeur Sanders is two things. One, of course, his last name, and then also his skin color, right? And I'm not saying people hate him because of his skin color, but I'm saying if you were to take everything that Shedeur Sanders does and put that into a white quarterback, they would probably love him, right? But when you compare him to other black quarterbacks like the Cam Wards and the Jaden Daniels and the Jalen Hurts and those athletic guys that can just make things happen, like he just doesn't fit in, right? He's like an old ass Drew Brees type soul, you know what I'm saying, with a $100,000 necklace on. You see what I'm saying? So it's a weird mix where I think that's why you're not seeing a lot of Shedeur hype. But he's a good quality quarterback, so I really like Shedeur. Um, Shedeur has a cap gun for an arm, and he can't run the ball, lick, or escape or rush, right? But there's tons of quarterbacks that are like that. There are tons of quarterbacks who don't have arm strength. There's a ton of quarterbacks who aren't athletic and they make things go. You know, they make things go. Not every quarterback has a cannon arm and they can run and hurdle. You know what I'm saying? Tall leaps in a single bound. Like, no, he's just a pure quarterback. He's a pure quarterback. So how can you argue with me that Trey Lance is worthy of a top 4 pick? You went 4, right? Trade up, right? Went 4, but Shedeur Sanders isn't. Like, how can you argue that with me? Like, how can you argue that with someone that, Mac Jones and Justin Fields, some of these other guys are not a more seasoned quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur Sanders, yeah, he is tough as hell, bro. It was like to the point where it's like I would like to see what Shedeur really could do behind not even a decent offensive line. It doesn't have to be a great offensive line, just a decent. His offensive line at Colorado was horrible. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I understand why he was frustrated. So yeah. Trey Lance was 3rd overall after playing FCS, but Sanders is not a top 10 prospect. Man, compare. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Henny. Yeah. So Trey Lance went 3, and you're gonna sit here and tell me Shedeur Sanders isn't worthy, bro, or Zach Wilson went, bro. I'm not buying it, bro. If his name was James Johnson or something like that, nobody would care. It's just because people hate Prime, right? It's just people hate what they can't control. And since it's Coach Prime, that's why they hate it, bro. But I'm not arguing with anyone about him not being a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not arguing with anyone not being a top 10 pick. Let's see. Cam Ward is better. I would say Cam Ward has much more upside than him. But I feel like Shedeur is the safer pick, right? I feel like he's a safer pick. Yeah. Let's see here. He does hold the ball a bit too long, like Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Joe, but with that offensive line, bro, like with that offensive line, you know what I'm saying? With that offensive line, you know what I'm saying? I would get a little hesitant too, but he's tough as nails. He's competitive. He's tough. IQ is off the chart. Processing. He can run an NFL style offense. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's trained several. Like he is like, that's what I'm saying. He is a young player, but he's going to be like a old Tom Brady or some shit like that, or old like Drew Brees type talent. You see what I'm saying? So it's not sexy in today's NFL when it comes to fans. But if you want someone that you can probably just toss out there and run an NFL offense, But I hope the Giants feel like he's a noodle arm quarterback and they pass on this. I do not want Shador Sanders coming to the NFC East. I hope they pass on him, y'all. I really do. If they take Abdul Carter, okay, cool, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm perfectly fine with that. But I need them to pass on Shador Sanders because he will be a lightning rod for that team that's already has a solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. Shador isn't as good as Geno Smith was coming out of West Virginia. It took Geno 8 to 9 years to be a good starter. Hope he does well. I just don't see it in him. Yeah, we'll see. But I like him. Sanders going to be better. His game style fits the NFL. Yep, I think it does. I think it translates well. But that ain't got nothing to do with us, right? We got Joe Mixon and shit, right? So, I was talking about just building my team, right? But I do like Shador Sanders. The kid is tough as nails, right? And I like a tough quarterback. Like me, I get it. The quarterbacks that can scramble and do all the loop-de-loop stats and style, but maybe it's because I'm a Cowboys fan and I got a quarterback that don't do that and he's still surgical. Like I like surgical mind quarterbacks. Like I like guys that can beat you with their mind and they can beat you with their legs after the fact. And okay, cool. And I feel like Shador can be one of those guys that can beat you with his mind, right? Dak Prescott, he can beat you with his mind. Dak is fully, and like I said, if you're just a casual fan, you really don't appreciate the things that Dak Prescott does on the field. Like he is running the entire shit, bro. Like it's damn near like I don't want him to have to do that, but the way that Dak commands his offense, y'all, it's on a completely different level. And I think Aaron Rodgers has even said that. You know what I'm saying? I think Aaron Rodgers even said that. Bro, Dak plays this game at a high level mentally. Now, I want to take that away from him where he can just hand the ball off 15 to 25 times to Amari Hampton or Quinshon Judkins and take some of that stress away. But I like quarterbacks that can do that. Surgical quarterbacks win way more than running quarterbacks. Yeah, and they have a longer lifeline as well. Longer lifeline as well. If you give them talent, right? Like, let's say Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff in Detroit, if you look at it, Jared Goff had MVP caliber season. Now, what is the strong attributes, loop-de-loops that Jared Goff does? He don't have that strong traits. Doesn't have the strongest arm, right? But he can run an NFL offense and takes what the defense gives him. And when it's time to strike downfield, he can strike downfield with the talent that he has. That's all you need. I think a lot of people got caught up in the Pat Mahomes thing. And I think that's starting to change a little bit, where everyone was just trying to find a Pat Mahomes, a quarterback that can just do it all, do it all, do it all. You know what I'm saying? Those are rare. Those are very far in between. Very far in between. One of a kind, right? So I think that's what's starting to change a little bit. Like, yo, you don't need a godly quarterback that can throw, 100 yards off the run, like across the body. Like, you just need a good quarterback that can run and command the offense and load him up with talent, and you'll be all right, right? That's it, bro. Look how Sam Darnold just rejuvenated his whole career. It wasn't like, oh, now Sam Darnold can throw the ball harder, or he put more air under his deep ball and all. Like, no, bro. Like, he got to Minnesota. He got to a system and a coaching staff that believed in him. He had weapons around him. And all you have to do, bro, is just get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Just get the ball to Justin Jefferson. Don't be a hero. Like that's it, right? A lot of people, like Taz coming in the chat would say Cooper Rush. How did Cooper Rush really thrive? It was a simple, quick throw offense, had a balanced run game, get the ball to CD and get the hell up out the way and don't turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Don't make it too complicated. But if you wanted to rely on the arm strength of Cooper Rush and some of these other quarterbacks, no. I feel like some teams say, listen, we can either go the Pat Mahomes route, or shit, I can't do it that way. That's gonna be too complicated. But what if we go this Brock Purdy route? Listen, run this offense, don't turn over the ball, You ain't got to run around, but hey, if you need to skirt out, and get the extra 3 yards, you can run a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Get the ball to Debo, get the ball to Brandon Ayuk, get the ball to George Kittle, hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey, and just don't screw it up. You see what I'm saying? When you go back to 2016 Dak, Rookie of the Year Dak, it was the same formula with him. Hey, bro, I don't need you to go be a hero. Get the ball to Witten, get the ball to Dez, get the ball to Cole, hand it off to Zeke, and just don't screw it up. Dak wasn't going to the line of scrimmage in 2016 and here he going and changing this. And no, bro. Hey, quick slant, right? Or hand it off to Zeke. If it's not there, take off and run, bro. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So you can simplify offenses to accommodate your quarterback. But some coaches and some organizations, they're kind of set in their ways. And it's like, you got to fit this or you can't, right? There is no way that anyone could convince me that you cannot build some kind of offense and utilize the skill set that Trey Lance has. You can't. You can't. I guarantee you Harbaugh's going to figure out something for him to do. You're going to figure out something to do. Quick RPOs, quick reads, quick screens, you know what I'm saying? Few draws, maybe a little wildcat. 1-2 read. If it's not there, then just take the sack or keep it moving. I'm not going to overcomplicate things and have you doing full field reads. That's not you, bro. No, don't change nothing. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be a hero post snap. Listen, run a slant. If slant's not there, then maybe you have a spot route with the tight end, and you're good, bro. If not, then take off and run. You see what I'm saying? So, Tuck, fair point on Goff and Mayfield, team and scheme report. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's another one. People thought Baker Mayfield was done, right? Built a nice little scheme around him, gave him some talent, and there you have it. You know what I'm saying? They were a scary team under Baker Mayfield. Rejuvenated. So, Geno Smith, the list goes on and on. So I know we're kind of ranting a little bit about quarterback, even though we ain't got those problems. Now, some Cowboys fans might disagree. But, I feel like that's the one thing that I kind of feel good about, and I might make a separate video on this. If you are the Dallas Cowboy fan that wants people to start pissing rainbows all up the timeline and all over YouTube, right? In order for that to happen, I hate to say it, it's going to have to be on Dak. It's going to have to be on Dak once again. It's going to have to be on Dak more than it's ever had to be on Dak, right? So if you want to even salvage this season even remotely, where you're thinking to fix your lips to say championship or Super Bowl or NFC championship, to say any of that, Dak Prescott has to be at an MVP level. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be. It's going to have to be Dak Prescott's going to be healthy and on at an MVP level. So, for me, if I feel like, that's just my opinion, if that's the case, I want to help Dak Prescott in every way that I can to make that a reality for him. I don't want Dak, God damn. I have nothing wrong with the LGBTQ community, but chill. All right, salute to everybody out there, man. What you do in your home is you doing your own, right? But I want to make that easier on Dak Prescott. I would like to see Dak Prescott with a Jared Goff-ass offense. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, damn, you got J-Mo over here, you got St. Brown over here, you got Sam Laporta, you got 2 running backs, your offensive line is nice. You got an innovative play caller. I want to see Dak with the even playing field. I don't want to see Dak where it's just like, hey, bro, you got to turn water into wine. You guys know I like Jalen Tolbert. I think Mingo does have some upside potential, bro, but it's too much to have to command an offense. You're pretty much running our offense, pre-snap, post-snap. Your offensive line is shaky. You have no running back threat. You have 1 wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. That's just way too much for a quarterback to have to deal with. It's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even if you make the proper read, set the slide protects properly, right? NFL teams don't fear your running backs, so they're going to rush 4, drop 7, so they're playing the numbers game. And then you have a wide receiver 4 that's really playing cosplay at wide receiver 2, and he's getting jammed up on the boundary. And then you have to fit that into a small ass window because your wide receivers can't get any separation. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster, bro. You got to help me some way, somewhere. You got to help me. Either you got to help me with the personnel. If you're not going to help me with the personnel, then you damn sure got to help me with the scheme. You got to help me. You got to help me somewhere. If you're not going to help me personnel wise, because the one thing I say about Dak, right, I was going like half read. So like for you guys who don't know football field, they go through progressions, right? So there's a pure progression, full read. So let's say, we're going to run a flood concept, right? So you might have a flood concept on the right side, okay? So the go route is just to take the corner deep, okay? And typically you run this versus cover 2 for all my Madden CFB football players right there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to take the corner deep, run him off, right? And if it's in cover 2, you want to occupy the safety on the outside, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll have a corner route, you know what I'm saying? A corner to kind of sit in that hole. And then you'll also have a flat route, right? So the flat would pretty much stress the corner that's in the cover 2 that's staying in the flat. So should he drop, right, and take the corner? If he drops and takes the corner, then you hit the flat. If he comes up on the flat, then you go over the top and hit the corner, right? So you have those progressions, right? So you have the one just to occupy, okay? You're reading the corner. So let's say the flat is your 1, okay? And then let's say the corner is your 2 read, okay? Boom, boom. That's not there. Then typically what you'll have is a route on the back side where the route's supposed to cross vision typically, right? So it might be like a drag, right? Or something like that, right? So that way that crossing drag will come over here. So like you're going through your progressions, right? And typically you might have an alert on the back side. So you might go 1 flat, corner, drag. If the drag isn't there or crosser isn't there, then get back and I might have a post or some shit on the backside, right? So when you're doing all that, okay, boom, right? So, and we'll go through the film. It's probably easier to do in the film, but we're freelancers, right? So boom, your hitch, right, is tied to the first read. So flat. So it might be a quick 3-step drop. Boom, boom, boom. Flat's not there. Okay, boom, I rehitch. Corner's not there. Okay, drag's there. Note this linebacker's coming up. And I'm supposed to get backside to hit this, I don't know, let's just say it's a post, right? To get backside. So I'm setting my feet. Now you're trying to do all that. Meanwhile, Tyler Guyton's over here getting his ass whipped. And you have Myles Garrett breathing down your neck. Like it's a lot of processing that's really going on for your quarterback. So what some teams do is that if they won't have you as a full field read, it'll be a split field read, right? So you might say, okay, you come out to the line of scrimmage, and let's say once again it's cover 2. You know what I'm saying? This is cover 2, all right? On this side of the field, we might have just a flood concept, right? So flood is there, right, depending on the read, right? On this side of the field, we might have maybe like a Yankee concept, right? On this side, right? And they're going to run this concept over here or run this concept over here. And then what you'll do is pick a side, right? So if you come out and you might see the look that you see cover 2. All right, cool. I'm going to run flood to the right, right? Or you might see something where it's like cover 3, right? You might have middle field closed and you might say, you know what? I'm going to run the Yankee to the left, right? And you just run that to that side. Don't worry about anything going back over here. Right? Or, you know what I'm saying? So it simplifies the offense, right? So it's either 1, 2, or just like Lou said, or get the hell up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because like if I'm coaching Trey Lance, bro, we're not doing 3 progressions, 4 progressions. I don't want you getting backside, none of that shit. Boom, we're going to run this dagger concept. If it is not there, you just take off and live to see another day. But trying to make Trey Lance a full pure progression quarterback, he's not there yet. And some of these young kids, they're not there yet. A lot of these guys coming out of college, they come from a simple ass offense. You know, you ever watch college football and they got these big ass signs and, you know, happy faces and emojis all, bro, they're telling you where to go. Don't do no extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Milton in Tennessee and that spread offense is quick. Boom. Back on it. Boom. It's not a lot of reading and progressing and different things like that. It's a quick spread offense. Get the ball at your hands quick, right? We're going to spread everybody out, you know? Spread everybody out. Pause if you want to. We really got to talk about the implications of QB months. Yeah, Lou, bro, let's do it, dog. I should get my internet, my studio back up today. Well, they sent me a brand new modem and setup and all this stuff. And I'm just like, well, why don't y'all come set this shit up? I don't want to install all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we just sent you a brand new modem and this and that and this and that and this and that and plug this into your computer and should get you back up and running. I don't feel like doing all that shit. Y'all look like tech support? No. So I might gotta do this shit later. But if I get the studio up and running, Lou, we can definitely talk about it because a lot of people don't understand the mind inside workings of a quarterback. It's a lot. Now, try to do that with lack of protection, right? Your rookie left tackle is either holding or getting folded, you know, and then you don't have no guys that can separate. It creates a horrible situation, and add on the worst factor amongst all of that, right? I'm passing 40, 45 times a game. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm Dak Prescott and I am passing 40 times a game and I'm a defensive coordinator, all you need is 3 fuck-ups to change the course of the game. Dak can be on. Right? That could be on 45 throws, right? 40 throws, right? If I can get you to fuck up 4 of those and change the course of the game, Dak, boom, 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 moving up the field, carving things up, right? Then boom, Dak drops back. Tyler Guyton gets smoked. Strip fumble. That can change the course of the game, right? Boom, Dak drops back. He's carving. Boom, 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 boom. Jalen Tolbert wants to run route. He's supposed to cut in, run the post in front of the safety. He goes behind. Safety jumps the interception. That changed the course of the game. So everyone sits back and thinks, Dak sucks. And Taz and them come in the chat. Dak sucks, bro. Bro, I'm throwing 40 times. All it took was 3 plays to change the course of the game. You're putting your quarterback in shitty situations without the talent to go alongside with them. You know, to go, you know what I'm saying? It's different when you have guys where you're sitting back thinking, oh shit, the Cowboys are loaded with weaponry, right? So then that works to your advantage, bro. But if you ain't got the advantage and you're throwing 40 times, I'm gladly taking that. I am rushing 4, dropping 7, creating tight windows, bracketing CeeDee Lamb. Eventually, you might score now, right? Jalen Tolbert might beat us deep on his lucky play, but I guarantee you eventually he'll crack, right? And if he doesn't crack, your offensive line will crack. So I can get pressure with 4. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be able to counter that. I think I did a lot of film sessions. They're up on the channel right now. If you can go and see how many times these defenses rush the Cowboys with 4 and drop 7. And why were they able to do that? Everybody in the chat, go ahead and answer. Y'all know the answer. And the sun in your eyes because your owner don't want to. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. And that's all you need, right? Okay, bam, you're carving up the field. But now CeeDee Lamb loses the ball because the sun is in his eyes because your owner has an ego about it. And now it's an interception. You know what I'm saying? 25 pass attempts is really the sweet spot. If the run game's working, we can push the ball downfield and play action shot. We won't need 40 passing attempts if we aren't one-dimensional. Exactly. Yeah, Detroit. I think I did the Detroit film. I could probably look. But Detroit literally sat back and said, bro, I dare y'all to run. And Zach Martin, first ballot Hall of Fame, Bro, they beat Zach Martin's ass into retirement. You know what I'm saying? If you go watch the Detroit Lions versus Dallas Cowboys film, I think that's the game where Zach Martin says, like the movie say, I bet you're wondering how I got here. I was just a young child. You know what I'm saying? Like they was beating Zach Martin's ass in Detroit. Our whole offensive line got their ass took to the back shed and beat the dog shit out of our offensive line. It was bad. And I think that was the time where Zach Martin probably went home and his wife said, baby, baby, is this still for you? You still think this is what you want to do? Yeah, because I'm sure he got an ice tank after that game. Whole team in an ice tank. So icy. They got their ass beat. And these teams with these defensive fronts are realizing, the Cowboys don't have no run threat. Their offensive line is a little iffy. Zach Martin's over here getting his ass beat, and he's the strongest point, right? We gonna drop everybody. Just drop everybody. Keep everybody in front of us. Just take CeeDee Lamb away, right? And so how do you counter that, y'all? You gotta have a game changer at the running back position. Imagine Dak comes under a center. Yeah, here we go. Hut drops back. The Lions are now rushing 4, dropping 7 because the boxes are light. But then I hand that shit off to Amari Hampton. I bet you won't just rush 4 again. I bet you get some damn linebackers out there on the field. You're not playing a bunch of You're not playing a bunch of nickels no more, bro. You're not playing a bunch of nickels no more. So you can throw them off. You can counter that. But we just didn't have the personnel to counter anything. The Detroit Lions wasn't worried about Rico. And here's also the situation, the way that our defense was playing, we couldn't stop a nosebleed. So they knew once they got up by 14, they got no choice but to pass. Now, they really screwed. They really SOL. They really SOL. Yeah, go ahead and throw it 40 times, right? And Dak has done it. Even that Ravens game, bro, Dak was fighting his ass off, fighting Dak Prescott's, right? But still, that's not a winning formula to win championships. You need balance. We need balance. And it worked. We have seen it work, especially in our own conference. Jalen Hurts didn't have to be a hero. He had to be a hero. You had Saquon. Just make throws when it's time to make throws, bro. I don't even think I can think of, and of course I don't watch them like that, but what was a game that Hurts really put the Eagles on his back and led them to victory? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of games like that. Brock Purdy doesn't have to play like that. Whereas Brock Purdy or else. You see what I'm saying? Jared Goff does not have to play like that. Where's Jared Goff or else? You said it was Carolina where Jalen Hurts did that? I said Carolina. You see what I'm saying? But like a lot of these other quarterbacks, it doesn't solely rely on them. We all know if Dak Prescott is not on, good night. You might as well go out to Sunday dinner with your family and get ready for work on Monday. Because if Dak Prescott is not playing, throwing for 450, 3 tutties, it shouldn't be that. And the reason why I have been skeptical or uneasy, I'll say this, right? Dak Prescott, not sure if you're watching, but if you are, right? Shoot the tab, man. Shoot the tab, my dog, right? Dak, it's Tuck talking to you, broski. It's now or never, dog. It is now or never, Dak Prescott. And what do I mean now by never? I'm not talking about Super Bowls. No. That's, you know what I'm saying? The thing I'm talking about for you, Dak, is you, Dak, have to find a way, if you want to get the respect that you deserve, and I believe you deserve, you are going to have to start beating other quality quarterbacks. You have to, Dak. Jalen Hurts is cool, right? We own the NFC East. All right, cool story, bro. you're going to have to mark off Pat Mahomes. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to start marking off the Josh Allens. You're going to have to start marking off the Lamar Jacksons. You know, you haven't done it. Cooper Rush has done it. You have to start marking off the Joe Burrows. You have to start marking off the Jordan Loves. Like some of these top tier quarterbacks, you have to start marking off, bro. You have to start marking some of these people off, dog. This is I love you, Dad. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, bro. I'm in your corner, but you got to start marking these people off, bro. We can't continue to find excuses after excuses after excuses while you're not beating the other quality guys. And I get it. Those guys have better teams and better situations. So be it, bro. But the problem with you, Dak, is you sit back and condone it. Right? You sit back and condone it. So you have to be held responsible for it. If you're sitting back telling Dallas Cowboys, hey, I really believe in Jalen Tolbert and Jonathan Mingo. I feel like I got the guys that I need to win. All right. I don't want to hear that shit when Pat Mahomes comes to AT&T. I don't want to. I can't, bro. I can't. Let's pull this up real quick. Hold on, pull it up here 1 second. Actually, pull it up right here. Hold on. All right. Let's see. Bang. Now that I'm thinking about it, I would like to see Shador go to the Raiders. That would be dope. All right. So, let's see. Let's take a look at it right now. All right. Jalen Hurts. Okay, cool. Jaden Daniels. Okay, cool. You got Jordan Love. Dak. You're older than him. You got Pat Mahomes. All right. Justin Herbert, I feel like you're better than Justin Herbert, so I feel like you're good there. Colin Murray, he didn't dance all over us. I don't know when's the last time we beat the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when, you know what I'm saying, we beat the Cardinals, right? Caleb Williams, you should be able to handle Caleb Williams in his second year, bro. I don't know when's the last time we didn't beat the Broncos. Shit, I don't think we beat the Broncos since the 90s, dog. You know what I'm saying? Well, we don't beat the Broncos. The Lions, for whatever reason, Dak, they feel like they are trying to be out for blood every time they play us. Right? Raiders, depends. Jets will be all right. Panthers will be all right, right? So we need for Dak to start punching in his own weight class. There's too many games where it's Cowboys versus Dolphins and we lose to Tua, or it's Cowboys versus Josh Allen and we lose to them. And I don't think Josh Allen even threw the ball more than like 15 times or something like that. You know, yeah, beat San Francisco, Slim. You know what I'm saying? You got to start beating on people in your weight class, bro. Dak, I love you, dog. But this is the reason why people have those conversations. So either you man up and say, all right, I am a made man. I am pretty much on my final contract in Dallas. I want to win a championship in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Stop being so damn polite and start being real. You can love Jalen Tolbert to death, and that's your dog, but say, I need more. You could love Jonathan Mingo. You could love Jalen Brooks. You could love all we're grown men, bro. We're grown men. It's okay to say, I need more help. You know, it's okay. It's not bad leadership. It's not going to look bad on you that you're on Twitter or wherever saying, I would like to get Tet or Golden, or it's not going to look bad on you, bro. But you have to start waving that red flag and say, listen, I need some help. It's okay to say, I don't want to tie the two things together, but your whole slogan is ask for help. Do it when it comes to the roster, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, ask for help, bro. You're calling Cooper Kupp on the low. So you know it, bro. It's okay to say I need help because all of this falls on you, Dad. This is your legacy, bro. This is your legacy. Like, you have to eventually put your foot down and stand for something, bro. If Kellen is your guy, raise hell and be like, I want to keep Kellen. Or if Mike McCarthy was your guy, put your foot down and say, listen, I want to keep Mike McCarthy. Like, it's just like whatever the Cowboys decide to do to Dak, Dak is just like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You advocate for Mike McCarthy, they don't get the deal done. Oh, yeah, we believe in Brian Schottenheimer. We're excited to play. You're playing. You see what I'm saying? You have to step up, bro. You have to. You have to. We can't continue to make these excuses. Oh, well, Dak had the hand injury. Or Dak had the hamstring injury. Or Dak had, like, we can't. I mean, some people can't, right? You know what I'm saying? If this was the Dak Lover show, then maybe I could probably find some more things. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, bro, where are we? What, 32, 33, something like that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. And especially when you're sitting in your division and now we're having the conversation. I think that Jaden Daniels kid. Think that Jaden Daniels kid might. Y'all, I mean, Hurts just won Super Bowl MVP. I mean, shit. We know y'all know I'm a Florida State guy. You know what the hell Jameis gonna do with Neighbors. He gonna feed the shit out of Neighbors. You see what I'm saying? He gonna feed the shit out of Neighbors. He might throw 40 touchdowns and 40 interceptions, but Jameis Winston is going to light up that scoreboard with Malik Neighbors like a damn Christmas tree. And then they also got a Super Bowl champion and Russell Wilson sitting there too. So we need Dak, bro. Shit. I need Ted, bro. Dak, what do you need to be successful? I need Golden. I need Golden. I need him. I need him. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say that. We're not going to look at you funny. Dak said he needed a wide receiver. Yeah, he does. And actually, he doesn't need wide receiver help. He also needs running back help too. And he also needs offensive line help. Go get him that shit. And if there's negligence by your front office, we can point the blame at the right person. You know what I'm saying? You can sit back and point the blame at the right person, but Dak just sits back and quietly condones it. He quietly condones it. So if you condone it and sign off on it, if you don't say nothing, that means you're signing off on it, then you have to wear that responsibility. As the quarterback, the face of the franchise, you have to wear that responsibility. And I know people are saying he doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was a huge tool, but Aaron Rodgers got what the hell he asked for. Aaron Rodgers got what the hell he asked for, right? So toss Aaron Rodgers out of it. Tom Brady went over to Tampa, said, I need Gronk. They went and got Gronk. I need Antonio Brown, or they went and got Antonio Brown, as crazy as it was. Tom Brady went over there and said, if you want me to help win a championship in Tampa, I need this, I need that, I need this. Oh, and I also will take this too. And then I think I want this too. It said, bet, Tom, we got you. This is someone who already had Mike Evans and Godwin. Like, they already had talent there. Tom Brady said, I need this. Get it to me. All right, cool. Yeah, Tom. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you have to use your leverage. We have to. Because if not, this organization isn't going to move, right? The fan base, we're trying. Got the, you know what I'm saying? Shit, we're trying. We can't get them to move. We're trying. We can't even get them to sign Micah. We're trying. Dag, bro. Don't let them go and get Shamar Stewart and just be like, yeah, I really believe in the guys that we have, bro. Like, we know that's cap, right? You can believe in them all you want, right? But it doesn't equal reality. My son plays soccer. I can believe he's going to be an incredible soccer player, but the reality is he's not even close. It's false hope, right? And I think that's where people get us as content creators or media people, whatever you want to call it, confused, right? They view holding the team and players accountable as negativity, right? This is when people probably jumping out the chat, right? Tuck's being negative. Oh my God, I'm going over here to so-and-so because they sell me all the opioid bullshit that I want to hear. There's a difference between being negative, right, and accountability. Accountability comes from a place of love. It comes from a place of encouragement. It comes from a place of wanting better. That's accountability. You see what I'm saying? That is where accountability comes from. It comes from wanting you to be better. A lot of us watching this show right now are trying to hold the Dallas Cowboys accountable for their actions because we want better. That's not negativity, right? I have a personal trainer. My personal trainer is on me. You guys know I have to track everything I eat. I have to send him photos, all sorts of shit, track my workouts, right? When I fuck up and I don't track my shit, like last weekend when my daughter was here, my mom and him was all here, and we went out and had KFC and all sorts of shit, right? I didn't track my food, right? We went out to eat like 3 to 4 times. Mama cooked, right? I didn't track none of that shit, right? Came back, gained like 3 pounds. My trainer got on my ass, told me I'm not focused, I'm not locked in, quit wasting this time if I'm not gonna lock in. Right? I can say, oh my God, you're just being negative. You're just being negative. Oh my God, I'm gonna go find me a trainer who's gonna be more positive and blah, 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 blah. No, bro. He is holding me accountable because I came to him with a goal and where I wanted to get in life. You know what I'm saying? So he's holding me accountable saying, bro, you're not doing shit, bro. You messing up. He's not telling me everything I want to hear to make it comfortable. That's a cool talk. I had pizza and wings on Thursday, right? We had Thursday. For lunch, we had KFC, all right? Friday, that was lunch Friday, I had KFC. Friday night, my mom cooked dinner. She cooked like lasagna and shit, right? And then Saturday, we had donuts. And then Saturday night, we went out to Cheddar's. I'm not doing what it takes to win. And that's all my trainer was telling me. You're not doing what it takes to win. You want to do the comfortable stuff. Pizza and wings, bro. Pizza and wings. And wings. We had a 50-piece of wings and 3 large pizzas. You know what I'm saying? It's uncalled for shit. But I was just happy to have my family here. We sitting there vibing, watching movies and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But am I doing what it takes for me to win? Absolutely not. And did I work out those days? No. Me and my daughter went for 1 run. I'm not doing what it takes for me to win. So my trainer who cares about, now he could be a trainer who just cares about my money and it's like, shit, I don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got you signed up for a 3-month program. You fuck up, you fuck up. He's already paid. You know what I'm saying? My trainer's already paid, right? But it took my trainer who really wants the best for me to get me on the phone and say, Tuck, what the fuck are we doing? Are you going to lock in or not? Oh, stop being negative. I want a trainer that's positive. You know, there's other trainers who I see on YouTube that say I can eat whatever I want as long as I'm happy mentally. You know, I can have a cheat meal every time. People mess up. I can go find me one of those. But no, I have a trainer, salute to Chris, right? Called me, said this shit ain't acceptable, bro. And give me that hard conversation. Sometimes to get change, it takes hard conversation. You think that Cowboys fans like going into draft with 50 fucking holes right now? Is this fun for y'all? Is this fun arguing? We should go wide receiver. No, we should go running back. No, we need guard. No, we actually need defensive tackle. No, we need corner. Actually, we need linebackers. I think we should go. Yeah, this shit ain't fun. This shit is not fun going 9 days away from the NFL draft with 50 fucking holes in our roster. It ain't fun. We're not enjoying this. You're not enjoying this. You know what I'm saying? This ain't fun. You think it's fun sitting back watching the Eagles and Commanders come from the NFC Championship game? It ain't fun. You think it's fun seeing that ratio saying Ramsey would be nice? But we know damn well we're not paying that amount for him. So it's just conversation. That's not fun. So when people say Cowboys fans need to be positive, my rebuttal to them is, what the fuck do we have to be positive about? What? Javonte Williams? Like Javonte Williams? We signed Osa early? Be positive. What do you want me to be positive about? We have a head coach who's never coached in his life before? We burnt a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance. Got one game out of it. Turned around and burnt another one for Jonathan Mingo. Give me something. Give me something. What are we supposed to be positive about? What should I be on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube pissing rainbows about? Nothing. Besides of me just being a Dallas Cowboys fan and loving this team, which pivots to my next point of conversation. Salute to my dog, Mike Tag, man. You guys know Mike Tag, man, content creator, hype man. Love Mike Tag, man. Just genuine guy. I love Mike. And Mike is a season ticket holder just like myself, man. And, we talked on the phone today because this is his last year of being season tickets holder. I got out of my season tickets this year. But, to hear kind of the hurt and how he was disrespected by the Dallas Cowboys when he was talking about releasing his season tickets, it's just like, do it. Someone else gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, that's why I was telling the Mike, I was like, bro, I remember. It's still right here on my wall. I'll show you guys. It's right here. So during 2020, during the pandemic, this is my vision board, right? I keep my vision board and all stuff on my wall, right? So I had these tickets on my wall, right? So we were going through a pandemic, as you guys all know, right? Worst of the worst, people dying all over the world. Shit was messed up, right? And the one thing that kept me sane was saying, yo, Tuck, if you make it out this shit, you're going to be a Dallas Cowboys season ticket holder. I don't care what the price is, what the amount is, right? When we get out this shit and the world opens back up, you are going to buy a season ticket. So every day in 2020, I would come here, look at my vision board. I would see those tickets, and I would just work. Grinding. With one day getting those tickets, right? So world opens back up, right? 2021. And I talked to the Dallas Cowboys season ticket holder department. And, they gave me the price, and they had some price in the upper deck. I was like, no, I'm not doing no upper deck shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going lower deck, right? And there wasn't a lot of spots available. And then he called me back, and he told me the spot was available, told me the price. And even though it was a hefty amount, I said, fuck it, getting them, right? So got the tickets for me and Mama Tuck. And I remember the very first time I sat in my seats, I literally cried, man. I cried. I cried because, one, I love the Dallas Cowboys. I love this team. And it was something that I worked so hard to get and it's been locked in on getting that kept me saying to be there with my mama, sitting there at the 20-yard line, watching the Dallas Cowboys. It was just like, you did it, right? Because I love this fucking team. You know what I'm saying? But like I was telling Mike, and we were talking about, the further you get into it, the deeper I get envious of you guys, right? I get envious. I do. Like, I do get envious. I get envious of, like, I have my cousin, right? My cousin Steve, man. So it's cousin Steve. He lives in Dallas, right? My cousin Steve just texted me, like, yo, I just saw in a Facebook group that Jerry Jones is stepping down. Is this true? Like, he's so disconnected and naive. He's believing shit that he sees on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, listen, bro, you can't be doing that publicly because people find out you're my cousin, they're gonna fry my ass. You know what I'm saying? So no, you know what I'm saying? But he's just so blind and willy-nilly running through fucking rose petals when it comes to the Cowboys. He don't know no better. You know, there's Cowboys fans that, hey, Tuck, keep it positive. I love the coaching staff. Y'all don't fucking know no better, right? So I envy that because the deeper that you get rooted into this, the more in depth you study this, the sicker you become, y'all. And this is why I understand why media kind of has to separate their fandom. But the closer you get to this organization, y'all, it is nasty. It is a very nasty, grimy, dirty organization. Like, there's some stories I could tell y'all where you're like, nah, Tuck, like, nah. There's some shit going on that has gone on where you're just like, ick, right? I don't even want to be on parts of it, right? And that's not even talking about the football aspect. That's just the off the field shit that goes on and out. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ain't pillow talking or snitching. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing none of that, right? But it's just like, it gives you this ick feeling. And the part, like I said yesterday, that hurts the most and was hurting Mike Tag was, yo, bro, I have a man cave of Dallas Cowboys memorabilia from ceiling to the floor. I've watched and loved this team since I was a kid, and they don't love me back. They don't love you back. That shit hurts. That hurts. Like, that hurts that you have, a lot of us have watched this team since a child, since we were children, like fucking starter jackets and Super Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? That we have loved this team. I had Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman and Dion. I still got the posters, right? On in my room as a kid. And I realized they don't love you back, bro. And Mike was talking about the email that he got back. It was just like, get rid of your tickets, we'll find somebody else. You know? For me, working so hard, yeah, never meet your hero, man. Never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes. It's like, it hurts because it's like, the closer that you get, bro, it's like, y'all really don't give a shit about winning. They really get. I guarantee you right now, the Dallas Cowboys are more focused on getting shit ready for that World Cup than they are for the football season. They are. So if you ever been in the club area, right? So last year, the reason why season tickets increased is because they built a brand new club area. It's like all bright now, white stuff, blah, 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 blah. That wasn't for my ass. No, we didn't ask for that. That is getting that stadium ready for the World Cup. That ain't got shit to do with me. Ain't got shit to do with me. At all. At all. Like, they renovated the entire club area last year for the World Cup. You know? And so they're making all these changes and, like, they're not focused on football, winning football games. You know? And I feel like the problem is with the Dallas Cowboys, they are so disconnected from us. You know what I'm saying? They are disconnected from us, the real heartbeat of the fan base, the people who eat, sleep, breathe it. They're disconnected from us. Now the corporate sponsors, oh, they know everything. You know what I'm saying? Corporate sponsors, the people who sit in suites and all sorts of stuff, they know. Man. So when they talk about our Dallas Cowboys fans, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about us. They don't care about us. My hard hitters group, salute to all my hard hitters out there who from Cali, is standing like a fraternity worldwide of Dallas Cowboys fans that are out there tailgating at Lot 10 every game, flying flags, representing, no matter if we're on the road or wherever. They don't care about us. No. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about the heartbeat of Cowboys Nation. They don't. Yeah, like we don't even exist. Have you guys even saw anything about the Dallas Cowboys hard hitters? Have you guys even saw anything or a feature of the One Star family? Like all these Cowboys clubs out there that represent this team, rain, sleet, or snow. Do you think Jerry has ever said thank you to them and maybe made a few players pull up to their events for an autograph signing session or anything like that? He has never. He never. We are viewed as the little guys. We're viewed as the little guys. We're viewed as the little guys, right? I wasn't supposed to be down there on the 20-yard line. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like my ass down there. Y'all know that. Y'all saw that. They hated my ass down there standing up and cheering and screaming for my defense and, talking about go hit them 30 and they have no idea who Wanye is. And they don't like my ass down there. I'm supposed to be up there. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be in the standing room, standing to my feet sore. They don't like my ass right down there in the midst of everything, firing up my team, screaming, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've lost the spirit of football being the important thing when it comes to Dallas Cowboys. Oh, not knowing who won. Bro, you would be amazed. You would be amazed of the players that these fans do not know. They, literally when I was at games, bro, people were like, how do you know all this stuff? Right? They're like, how do you know all this? And then like some of the other season ticket holders like, oh man, that's Jay Tuck, CFO. They're like, well, what does he do? And there's like, so I'm sitting there telling people, oh yeah, that's Marquise Bell, boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, that's Donovan Wilson. That's Malik Hooker. He played for Ohio State. Like I'm just doing all like they have no idea. They know Dak, CD, Zeke, Deuce, Micah, Trayvon, Deron Bland, D-Law, Martin. Like those guys that are that's everywhere, right? They know those guys. They don't know. They had no idea who Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas was. Who's 30? Is he a family member? Sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? Sure, why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Family member. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not locked in like y'all where Josh Butler and all these different players and Kalen Carson and so but we are the ones who get outed. You know what I'm saying? But we are the ones who spend our time, our effort, our money, resources on this team. So, yes, we do have the right to hold our team accountable. You can hold people accountable and still love them. A lot of us are parents. We love our children to death. We hold them accountable every day they wake up. Oh, stop being negative. I know he just got a C minus, but you're being negative. Just let's hope he gets his grade up by the end of the semester. I believe in him. No, get your grade up, bro. Or you're not playing any of these video games, and you're not playing soccer. Period. Holding him accountable. You're better than that. You're better than that, right? Love my sons, love my kids, right? You're better than that. This ain't the standard. So telling a organization that has built their entire brand off of being the biggest, the baddest, the brightest, championships, tradition, NFL lore, that you're not moving to the standard is not being negative. Because that's what they sell it to us, right? They'll sell it to us as the biggest, brightest, America's team, championships, winning tradition, the triplets, the glory days, Dallas Cowboys, big names, bright stars. We do it bigger in Texas. This is what you sell us, but this is what you deliver us. We have a right to hold the team accountable. Let's say you paid to go to a 5-star restaurant, right? This 5-star restaurant that's almost like Carbone or whatever that charges hundreds of dollars for a meal. And you get there and it's some Chef Boyardee type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's some microwave oodles and noodles and the service was bad. What will you guys say? Hey, I went to Carbone. I went to this restaurant. I had these types of expectations. And I didn't like the service. You see what I'm saying? You would have the right to be able to say that. Now, what happens if the manager at Carbone came out and said, stop being negative, Chad. Stop being negative. You're always being negative. Be positive. I'm sure he's better than what you had yesterday. Just give it a chance. Come back tomorrow and try it again. I believe in our cooks. You'd be like, hell no, bro. I want my money back. It says Carbone is so overrated. I ate there one time. I ate there a few months ago with Daz for the first time in Aria. It's a cool little restaurant. But I'll tell you, the Carbone experience that y'all probably had before was not the experience that he had. It was completely different. Like they were just bringing out new shit from the menu and all. That's where I found out that Luka got traded. Me and Dez was sitting at Carbone having dinner after the fight, and then our phone started ringing that Luka got traded. You know what I'm saying? And it was like crazy. But that Carbone, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, Drake raps about it and shit. You know what I'm saying? It says we have Carbone up here and it's a car dealership. Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I mean, I guess it was good, but it was just, I don't know. It's just Italian food. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing like, I don't know. But what happened was so we went there after the fight and there was a line wrapped around the building for Carbone. And then this shows different experiences that they have that we don't have, right? We get to Carbone, Dez walks in line and they're like, do you have a reservation? Because I walked up first, right? And then he walked up behind me and gave a reservation. Like, no. So that's like, you know what I'm saying? So Dez walks up. The manager from Carbone, they call her. She comes down, and she's like, Dez, you always got to give us a call. You at least give me 10 minutes notice before you please say, I'm sorry. So we go, walk all the way to the back in this like dark back room that's way back in the back. It's only like private for us. And they're bringing out all these different wines and champagnes and shit and all sorts of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about Dez, right? Funny story. He probably mind if I tell you this shit. Like Dez, I'm not sure if other NFL athletes are like this, but like their schedule isn't like normal ass people. So like we'll be out with Dez and he wants to eat like a full fucking meal like at 11. It's like 11:30 at night and we're at Carbone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, bro, like we don't need all this food. He was like, yeah, I'm starving, bro. I'm like, dog, like it's 11. It's like it's time to go to bed, damn near. But we ordered like lasagna and pasta. They brought like this chicken parm. They gave us like 3 bottles of champagne. All this wine and these like cheesy bread that tastes like pizza. I'm like, bro, it's like 11:45 at night. I'm not eating all this. He's like, Tuck, I'm like, bro, I'm not eating all this and going to bed at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's like three of us. It's me, him, and Cam, the cameraman. I'm like, bro, we're not eating all this. So then we have all this food from Carbone. And I'm just like, I'm not eating all this. You know what I'm saying? We did the same thing at the Super Bowl, man. So their shit's all off. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. But yeah, we advertise the Cowboys as Carbone, the place to be, the best of the best, right? 5-star ratings and this and that and this and that. And we give Olive Garden results. Olive Garden acquisitions, free agency. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Stop surveys Olive Garden with the Carbone package on it. I ain't asking for much. That is not asking for much, right? We are Olive Garden with the Carbone wrapper on it. That's what we are. No knock to Olive Garden. I ate at Olive Garden. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? But I really don't like restaurant pasta like that. There's this place here in Kansas City called Johnny Cascone's. It's my favorite spot. So if you're ever in Kansas City, go to Johnny Cascone's. That's like some real authentic Italian, but these other spots, I'm just like, nah. So, but yeah. So I think that's the problem. So stop letting people tell you that holding a team accountable is being negative. Now, there are negative people, right? It's just they hate everything. I hate this. I hate that. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate, hate, right? Yeah. You know, it says Olive Garden's correctly named everything they have tastes like an olive oil. Yeah. I mean, it's cool. When I have Olive Garden, I had Olive Garden one random night with my wife. It's just like, but they do have some good ass drinks at Olive Garden, you know. So feel like if we get Olive Garden, Better Love, that 7-Eleven hot dogs Jerry and Steven are serving, they put it in a Carbone wrapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the shit that we have to fight our organization to do. Sign Micah. Sign like, bro, we're asking this to sign Micah, bro. You know? Hey, move up in the draft. Stephen Jones says today they're probably not going to move up. That's just not what they do, but they're open to trading back. All right, fuck it. You know what? Trade back, bro. Trade out the first round. Shit, I don't care no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying on DMV's show this morning, bro, if Genty gets to 8, trade up. Oh, that's whoa. Tuck. You want us to give up trade value and draft picks to move up to go get a game changer? We need our draft picks. I mean, look how we hit last year, our draft picks. We needed all those players to play. Now, we will piss away a 4th round pick for a Trey Lance. We'll piss away a 4th round pick for a Jonathan Mingo. But to trade 12 and a 3rd round pick to move up and get Jet, whoa. No, sir. You want me to give up a 3rd to move up and get Genty? Absolutely not. That is way too much draft value, and we need our 3rd round picks. But y'all been pissing off 4th round picks like it's free money for the last 2 years. It's crazy to me, y'all. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me, y'all. The mentality of this team. Giving up a 3rd and maybe a 12, right, to move up and get pick 9 or pick 10 or whatever it could be for Ashton Genty. You mean to tell me you would pump the brakes for that? But when it was Trey Lance time, you didn't have to talk or consult with nobody. You just hopped on the phone and did it. Now, reminder, they outbid it for Trey Lance. Teams were offering a 6th and a 5th for Trey Lance. Jerry wanted Trey Lance so bad, he said, here, take a 4th. 49 said, thank you. I appreciate it, bro. Got him. I got him. You outbidded the Ravens and the Bills for Trey Lance, but for Derrick Henry, you didn't want to pick up the phone. Didn't even want to pick up the phone for Derrick Henry. Picked up the phone for Trey Lance, outbidded the Ravens and the Bills to get him. But for Derrick Henry, I didn't even call. Crazy. Let's say after Emmett said Genty can be better than him, I'm all in on a trade up if possible. Let's say he's not Emmitt Smith, right? Because Emmitt's the GOAT, right? One of my GOATs, right? Let's say Trey Lance, or not Trey Lance, see? Yeah. Let's say that Ashton Genty is Saquon Barkley. I think we will all agree that's worth giving up a third round pick in this year's draft. Yeah, and Trey Lance had a larger cap hit than Derrick Henry, too. See, it's just, so going back to the people who want us to be positive, we know too much. We know too much, y'all. We are now in an age and era where we, as Dallas Cowboys fans, we're too smart for the okie doke. We're just too smart for it. Those days are long gone, right? When we just didn't know any better. And I used to watch, it was Cold Pizza. It had Skip Bayless and what was it, and Woody on his show. And that's where I would get my Cowboys news from because we didn't know any better. That's kind of all we had. And I would watch First Take, and that's where I would get my Cowboys news from. And I would kind of just go from it, right? Blind as a fucking bat, just believe in it. Those days are gone. Those days are gone for a lot of us that stay in it. We know you could have easily made Derrick Henry work. We know even if you want to make Micah the highest paid in football, you could do that right now with the click of a button. We know how much cap space we have available. You see what I'm saying? We got apps for that. We know what the market value is. We know all these different things now. Back in the day, we didn't. You know, I'm not sure how much it costs to bring in T.O., right? But they made it work. We are smart enough to know that if you wanted to re-sign Mike McCarthy and the difference that you had was based on the years, we know that that has no impact on the salary cap for whatever reasons. We know that. Now, there are some Cowboys fans like, yeah, I'm glad we didn't sign Mike McCarthy for that contract because then we wouldn't be able to get no play. There are some people out there who just lost like that. That's not us. We know. Like, so we're smart. We're smart enough to know how restructures work these days. We're smart enough to know, hey, we can pull up our own film and watch these players that you're trying to sell us that's going to be the next gem of free agency and say, I don't see it. Right? Back in the day, when we got Greg Hardy, we kind of just blindly said, oh, we got Greg Hardy. He can be a DeMarcus Ware replacement because we didn't have the access that we do. Now, today, if Jerry would have fixed his lips to say Greg Hardy's our DeMarcus Ware replacement, I would have pulled up that film so quick and be like, hell nah. Hell to the nah. No, it's not there. But we were just in Facebook groups. I mean, look at his sacks, right? And they called him the Kraken. So, I mean, he might be a war daddy that Jerry Jones's defense been. We're not knowing it. We're blind. We're just flying blind. Still, bro, LB, we still do not know what shot he makes. Still to this day, it is April 15th. We don't even know the contract of the Dallas Cowboys head coach. That's crazy to me, y'all. That is crazy, right? And here would be my journalistic rebuttal, right? Tuck, what does it matter? What does it matter that we know what Schottenheimer's salary is, right? It doesn't matter. I like Schotty. I like his interviews. He's young. I think he's a good coach, right? Well, If you bring on a new head coach, right? Journalistic, it's Jay Tuck, CFO Sports, Jerry Jones. I have a question for you. If you bring in a unexperienced head coach, no coaching experience as a head coach, right? And you pay him league minimum, which they probably did, right? That shows that you aren't heavily invested in Schottenheimer as a coach. So why should the fan base do the same? And that's when security would escort J Tuck and my credentials ass up out of there. How can you tell the fan base to invest in a coach when you haven't even invested in the coach, bro? You won't even do it. You won't even do it. So you want Jay Tuck to hop on his platforms, let's say 100,000 people, and sell everybody. Schottenheimer is the man for the job. Schottenheimer is the man for the job. We got the coach that we need. You want me to do your dirty work for you. Put your money where your mouth is, bro. Oh, he's getting absolutely less than. Oh, he's getting way. I think we did it on one of the other shows, right? We did it on the last show or one of the other shows, right? Mike McCarthy was already bottom tier as a coach before. I think he was like at 4 mil. Like he was like bottom. You know what I'm saying? And that's with a Super Bowl championship. That's with, been in the league, been head coaching. You know what I'm saying? So if Mike McCarthy's at 4 mil, I can only imagine what Schottenheimer's going for, bro. He's probably going for the low. He's going for the hella low. He's probably on an internship damn near. So how do you sell me on investing in the coach when you haven't even did it? Now, you remember last year, everybody was on prove it deals. Dak was on a prove it deal. Mike McCarthy's on a prove it deal. You want me to buy into an unexperienced head coach, and you won't even release his salary to the public. You won't even put it out there. But no, Tuck, you go sell the fan base on that. All right. Well, I like Schottenheimer's interview. I like his youth. I like his spirit. I think the team really likes him. But I can't. I'm not doing your dirty work. I have a right and responsibility to my viewers, right? What other people do in their community, right, is their own choice. You have to let them, right? You have to let them do whatever they do. But I am not doing the Joneses' dirty work. Just get a free agent. Let me just bring in whoever. Bring in Miles Sanders. Don't worry about it. Tuck will drop a film session and sell the fan base that it was a good acquisition. Bring in Peyton Turner, right? We don't have to talk about Peyton Turner. Let's bring in Peyton Turner, and we'll let Jay Tuck and the rest of the content community sell the Cowboys fan base on how Peyton Turner was a crazy gem. I'm not doing your dirty work. I'm not doing your dirty work, bro. So stop asking us to do something that you as an organization won't even do your damn self. I think Shardy is not going to squander opportunities in crucial moments. Here's the thing, y'all, right? I know people want to box me in, right? Because this is how our fan base does. This is how our fan base does. Yeah, if Jerry cuts me the check, bro, I'll sell y'all the shit out of Schottenheimer. I'll sell y'all the shit out of Schottenheimer. If Jerry goes ahead and cut me the paycheck, hey, y'all, I've changed my mind. I think Schottenheimer's a credible hire. I actually think that there's a chance that we can win this year. I'll do all that shit, Jerry. Cut the check, bro. You ain't even got to cut me a check. Just cash at me, and you can keep it under the minimum, and that way you ain't got to pay taxes on it, Jerry. I will sell the fan base. Cut the check, right? But when it comes to Schottenheimer, they want to box you in is that, oh, Tuck, you hate Schottenheimer, right? You hate you're a Schottenheimer, you're a Schottenheimer, you're a Schotty hater, Schotty hater. Tuck's being negative, Schotty hater, right? No, that's not the case, right? What Tuck is doing is being realistic. As a first-time head coach ever in life, you are going to run into some hurdles. So there, once again, just like Tyler Guyton playing right tackle his entire career in tight end and switching over to a position that he never played, there's going to be a learning curve. The same thing from Schottenheimer, no matter he's been in college and NFL, and there's going to be a learning curve where you're going to be sitting in cross on the sideline thinking, damn, bro, Andy Reid hit me with some shit I ain't never saw before, dog. I learned from that. Ah, god damn, bro. Dan Quinn did hit me with a wrinkle. I ain't never see that one coming. All right, I gotta learn from that. Oh shit. Damn. Nick Sirianni got me. I'll be ready for that next time. Damn, maybe I should have gone for versus Detroit. Damn. Damn, Jim Harbaugh got. There's going to be that naturally. Unless Schottenheimer comes in and he's just goated and he's just Sean McVay out the box. I don't think it's going to be the case. There's going to be a learning curve, right? Which is perfectly fine. It is perfectly fine. Here is my fix, Cowboys Nation. How about you go and you surround Schottenheimer with an immense amount of talent that even if he's going through a learning curve, there isn't a lot of turbulence. What if he just do that? Like, woo, shit, that was a horrible play call, but Genty got it on fourth down. I ain't gonna do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Woo, I ain't gonna never, hey, whatever that play was, hey, get that shit out the playbook. Genty saved that play. We ain't calling that ever again. That shit got blew up, but Genty shook off 3 defenders and made it happen and got the first down. Cancel that, though. We ain't calling that shit no more. Right? Do it. That's what, and I get it, right? People get mad at me, especially Eagles fans, when I say this, but Nick Sirianni isn't an amazing X's and O's guys. Nah, he's not, right? Nick Sirianni is a leader of men, a guy, a rally guy, right? But the Eagles have surrounded him with so much talent, it's almost a safety net. It's a safety net. It's a safety net where you could still be okay as a head coach, but you have an abundance of talent. How was Dan Campbell able to come in and the Detroit Lions turn around? Let's not act like the Detroit Lions were the Detroit Lions that we once knew. They are loaded on both sides of the ball. So it makes it easier for your new coach. It makes it so much easier for your new coach. It does. So why not do that for Schottenheimer? Why does Schottenheimer have to find out a way to figure out how to get, I'm quitting using my dog, Jalen Brooks involved, right? Why does Schottenheimer got to figure out a way to get Jalen Brooks involved? I'm not using Tolbert's name no more. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it being your first year as a head coach, and you got to figure out, how do I get Jalen Brooks involved in our offense? That's too much. That is way too much. So when I say I'm not optimistic about Schottenheimer, I am not talking about the future, right? The future could be bright if they give him an opportunity, but if you're giving the league minimum, how much safety are you really giving the man, right? How long is his leash when you're paying him pretty much league minimum, right? But my thing, when I said and tweeted, I miss Mike McCarthy and I wanted Mike McCarthy back because I felt like if we were close to winning a championship this year, we were a lot closer with Mike than we'll be with Shotty. That's all I was saying. You're gonna have to go through a lot of growing pains with Schottenheimer. And with this schedule, it makes things uneasy. So it does feel like a soft rebuild. Now, in 3 years, when Shotty can maybe flush out all of his guys and and get his guys in and build, then maybe we'll be cooking. But then Dak is 1 year left on his contract. So if you ask me, who would I bet money on to lead this team to a championship this year? It would have been Mike McCarthy, right? Who got X, or it would have been Mike Zimmer, who had this defense rallying at the end of the season, who's been through some fires. We're going into a tough schedule with a coach who has been through no fires. And one of my guys said this to me this morning, we were talking about trading though, but if you guys were getting ready to go to war, right? Getting ready to go to war. Getting ready to go to war. All right, cool. We're sitting y'all, CFO gang, we're all going overseas, going to Iraq for war, right? Would you rather go to war with a sergeant who's been to Iraq 4 to 5 times, right? Who's fought in 3 wars before? Or would you rather come with Jay Tuck and say, hey, this is my first time going to war, y'all. So, we're going to figure this shit out together. Which platoon would you want to join? You know what I'm saying? Whose platoon would you want to join? The sergeant who's been to war numerous times, who's been into Iraq, right? He's came back home 3 times. He's done 3 tours. Like, this is nothing new to him. He's seen it all, right? Or me saying, hey, bro, it's my first time, but shit, I'm excited to lead y'all to war. Let's go. Bro, you're not rolling with me? You're not rolling with me? Now, come on, dog. Who is going to join my platoon to go to war? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It depends on whose heart is more in the battle. Man, I don't give a damn, bro. Tell me how you came back from 3 wars. You came back from 3 wars. Let's flip it, since y'all want to be smart asses, right? Let's say you're going into surgery, right? Open heart surgery. And there's a surgeon who's done this for 10 years. And then you come to Jay Tuck, and I say, hey, I just graduated from med school. You're going to be my first that I'm going to do open heart surgery on. I'm excited about the opportunity. Now, be a smart ass. Now, be a smart ass. How many people y'all don't come with me and let me do my first open heart surgery and kind of, figure it out as I'm cutting you up? You know what I'm saying? 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. Yeah, bro, we're taking the experience. So it is not being negative that we're going into a season with a coach who doesn't have any experience. I'm kind of, all right, bro, you sure you know what you're doing? When Schottenheimer was talking in his interview, like, hey, I've been kind of busy with some other things, so I'm leaning heavy on the scouts for this draft. Hold on, bro. Hold on, coach. Hold on. I know you have a scouting department, but I need you have some type of input in the draft. No, I'm just going to lean on the scouts. Give me something more than that. You know what I'm saying? Give me something more than that. Mike McCarthy quit, didn't he? They didn't want him to interview for the Bears job, Chicago, right? So what happened with Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys wanted to sign Mike McCarthy. The snag was the terms of the deal, right? So the length of the deal. I think that they wanted like a 4-year deal with Mike McCarthy. I think Mike McCarthy in his 80 was pushing for 6. That's what the Cowboys couldn't agree on. And then Mike said, you know what? Keep this shit. You can have it. And the rest is it. You know what I'm saying? Tuck, you ain't doing the hokey pokey on me, bro. Hey, listen. I know this is going to be my first open heart surgery, but I'm cold at the game operation. I'm cold at operation. And I was a top scholar at my university. Now I could, yeah. Now you can go into open heart surgery and hope that Jay Tuck is the next heart surgeon prodigy. Hope for the best. You can pray, hope. But I guarantee a lot of you, before you get ready for open heart surgery, would be nervous as shit before that anesthesia puts you under. God damn, bro. I ain't get me better medical coverage. I get the first timer. You know what I'm saying? I get the first timer. Shit. I know my benefits should be better than this. You see what I'm saying? Now, granted, you can hope, you can pray, and maybe I get to slicing up in your heart and cutting and moving and piecing shit up, and you have a brand new ticker once you wake up. Maybe. But you're going to be nervous. You're going to be nervous. Mike McCarthy is willing to risk never coaching again than coaching back here. All I need to know about our front office. He said, you know what? Take it. Take it. And the same thing with Mike Zimmer. And the same thing with Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer said, I came here with Dallas. I had this defense firing on all cylinders by the end of the season. I built a relationship with Micah Parsons. But y'all not even going to consider me for a head coaching job, but want to bring me back for a defensive coordinator instead? Shit. Not with my new beautiful wife. Not with my new beautiful wife, bro. You see what Bill Belichick is doing walking around with him, that young baddie, bro? Mike Zimmer said, I want that life, bro. I am out. Mike Zimmer said, hell to the nah. You know what I'm saying? Said, hell to the nah, bro. I'm about to get married, have me a young, beautiful wife, and move the hell on with life than to sit here and be a defensive coordinator for God knows who. Because a simple fix would have easily just been, move on from Mike McCarthy. Good riddance, fat boy. All the Cowboys fans, we got rid of Mike McCarthy. Moved on from Mike McCarthy, made Mike Zimmer your head coach, kept the continuity of the defense, and just made Brian Schottenheimer continue to be the offensive coordinator. Maybe got a new offensive line coach, new running back coach, and being good. Back rocking and rolling. Zim said deuces. Zim said deuces. Mike McCarthy said deuces. And don't get it messed up. I know he sabotaged. Dan Quinn said deuces. Dan Quinn really wanted that Seattle job. That's the one he really wanted. That was the girl that he really wanted. Didn't get the job, right? Came back to Dallas. Was coaching at the Shrine Bowl. And said, man, I got to get the hell up out of here, dog. You know what? I'll take that Washington shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the Washington shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, bro. I'll take the Washington job. Now, Dan Quinn, if he was strategic and loved Dallas, we all knew Mike McCarthy was on the hook. He could have sat there, coached his guys for another year, let Mike McCarthy kind of fall through the cracks, and would have scooped and scored. Dallas Cowboys' new head coach, Dan Quinn, right? But Dan Quinn said, nah, bro. Let me get the hell up out of here. And in 1 year, taking some Dallas Cowboys outcasts and a rookie quarterback, he took them further than the Cowboys have damn near been in 30 years. Just like that. And y'all remember that video of when Adam Peters and Magic Johnson say, hey, don't make this about us. Make it about the guys in the locker room. That's who did this. You know what I'm saying? Magic Johnson said, hey, don't make this about us, bro. Make it about the guys in the locker room. All we did was sign the checks. It's about them. Culture. Just like that, the Washington Commanders was able to turn one of the shittiest coaches in football into being respectable. Just like that. Bang. Just like that. Now people want to go play for Washington. One of the shittiest slimeball, sleaziest organizations was able to shift the culture just like that. Just like that. Changed a few pieces up top, and everything was good. And of course, they got a quarterback, right? So yeah. So when people get upset, like, oh, you guys are just banging on the front office, I always tell you guys this, right? If kids are acting up constantly at school, yes, it could be the kids' fault. They're some badasses. But can we please take a look at the parents and what's going on at the home? No, Tuck. No, it's the kids. These kids these days. Yeah, but what kind of parenting are they getting at home? Right? Blame the kids for everything. So we'll blame everything when it comes to a player, right? We'll blame Micah and his podcasting, right? We'll blame, Dak, right? We'll blame CD. We'll blame everything when it comes to a player, but when it comes to the front office, there's a large percentage of our fan base, content creators included, whoa, shit, Tuck, hold on, whoa. I think it's more about Micah missing voluntary OTAs and Micah doing a podcast more than our front office not getting player acquisition. I'm not touching the front office because everybody wants jobs these days, right? We always want to preach that independent shit, but now everybody wants a fucking job. Okay, cool. Get a job. All right, cool. But why would you press so hard on the podcast, but not on the organization that makes it so all of our players have to go through hell and hot water just to get paid? Dak had to be franchise tag and break his leg. Zach Martin had to hold out. Zeke had to go to Cabo. DeMarcus Lawrence had to threaten surgery. CD had to hold out. Micah, we'll see. Why do our good quality players have to go through all this bullshit to get the money they deserve? Why does it be that way? Did Jalen Hurts have to get franchise tagged twice? No. Did Justin Herbert have to get franchise tagged twice? No. Did Josh Allen? No. Did Lamar getting close, right? Pat Mahomes, right? Jared Goff when he was at the Rams, did Carson Wentz? Did any of these players have to go through hell and hot water just to get their money they deserve? Why is it always Dallas? Why is it always Dallas? Why is it always Dallas that we have to always make shit ugly to get the money you deserve? Wouldn't it be nice to be Micah Parsons? Listen, I was drafted by the Cowboys. I came out here, did all my work, did what was asked of me, all pro, and the Cowboys just took care of me. Dak Prescott, since the moment he's been in Dallas, has done things the right way, has led this team, right? Perfect example, role model on and off the field. We know the trauma and the tribulations that he's been through off the field, continues to battle, doesn't rattle the cage. Wouldn't it have been nice just to pay him the money he deserves the first time? So the people are like, oh, we shouldn't have paid Dak. We could have been moved on from Dak Prescott. He's just now getting his second or his third contract, right? If you're not counting the rookie, right? You count the rookie. Because of the front office. He could have been paid in 2019. And we could have Jared Goffed Dak. We could have Carson Wentz Dak if we wanted to, right? We could have had so many different options. The Cowboys put themselves in a situation. And now Stephen Jones spoke about it, right? About the restructuring of Dak Prescott's contract. Oh, we believe in Dak. And so now you're making this shit worse on yourselves, bro. You're making it worse on yourself. You did this. But now it's Dak has to learn to do more with less. You franchise tagged this man twice, made him play until he broke his ankle, signed him, and now you're mad because the price went up. You're mad because the price went up because you didn't pay for shit 2 years ago. That's like there's a TV that my kids want on sale today, right? It's a $2,000 TV, let's say, and it's on sale for $1,500. And I'm like, shit, I'll wait and get it around Christmas. And the price goes up to $4,000 because my kids really want this TV. So now I'm paying $4,000 for the TV when I couldn't pay $50. That's my fault. You should have bought the shit when it was on sale. So why are we mad at Dak for getting paid the money he's deserved when you was not proactive? That's your fault, you know? Great show, Jay Tuck. Time for some ribs and mac and cheese. Oh, you cooking today, Pete, bro. You cooking ribs. What is today? It's Tuesday, bro. You know what I'm saying? But he eating good like I ate the other day, man. So yeah, salute to you, Pete. So right now, to fix my nutrition, I just simplified it. I've done factor meals. I went back to factor. So everything is packaged for me. All I gotta do is go up there, heat the shit up, eat it, mark it down, and I'm done. So, I'm simplifying my nutrition, man, because even though I can do it and you're supposed to fall in love with it, right? Meal prepping, putting shit on a scale, weighing out everything. Like when I get busy, y'all, that's when I fall through, especially on the weekends. So now since I do factor, I just have everything there for me to make things easier, man. So yeah, I'm about to jump off as well, man. I'm feeling good. Like I filed my taxes and we're done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with filing taxes. I hate filing my taxes once again, but this happens. But gotta end the buzzer. I'm probably about to go upstairs and read a little bit, but my internet should be back tomorrow, hopefully. So if so, we will go live in the studio and get back to work. So hopefully it fixes everything. But y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Like I said, next week I will be at the NFL draft. So I will do a pre-draft show on Thursday. Also Friday. I might do a show during the draft on Friday because there's not going to be a lot of players there for interviews on Friday. Probably not. So I'll probably be just in the workroom for a lot of time. Maybe kind of being out and about amongst the people. Hopefully it's not cold in Green Bay. I haven't even checked the weather, so hopefully it's not cold because I don't want to be cold, right? But yeah, we're going to be at the draft. So tune in, get some player interviews. Hopefully, whoever the Cowboys draft this year, I will get to see in person because it's never been that way. Since I've been covering the draft in person, every player we draft is never in attendance. I never got to interview the actual player once he's been brought to Dallas. So hopefully, I know that Golden's going to be there. Tet's going to be there. Genty is there, right? Genty's there. Booker's there. Kind of all the options at 12 should be there unless they go something crazy. Amari Hampton's not there. Shador's not there. That's not, so hopefully I will get to interview the Dallas Cowboys pick at 12 at the podium unless they do some random shit and it's just like, I don't know, y'all. So we'll do that. Lock in next week for the draft, but we'll continue to keep draft content. I need to get some film sessions out for you guys, but honestly, it's probably a wrap. But I can't upload anything from my computer because it's not working. So maybe do the Walter Nolan film I've been trying to get out to you guys, and that's about it. But yeah, I'm gonna keep rocking. So subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys, man. I love talking to y'all, man. It's been a blast. I really enjoy doing this. It's just talking to my people, talking to the community. Not saying that we are the best, but I definitely enjoy the people in this community, man, because you guys know what we're talking about. And it's not old feelings and fanboy shit. It's more just about talking ball and helping the Dallas Cowboys win their 6th championship, man. So I want everyone to stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and stop wrapping Olive Garden in a cardboard package. Peace.